In a world where financial systems are evolving faster than at any other point in modern history, the future of wealth in America by 2040 is shaping up to be both an extraordinary opportunity and a formidable challenge. And understanding this future isn't just interesting, it's essential for anyone who wants to stay ahead of economic change rather than getting run over by it. Because the reality is that the strategies that built wealth for previous generations will not be enough to carry Americans through the next 15 years. And anyone paying attention can already feel the shift beginning as technology accelerates, the cost of living rises, and the meaning of middle class continues to transform before our eyes, making it clear that adapting early will determine who thrives and who struggles. The old formula for wealth, get a job, stay long-term, buy a house, retire with a pension, has quietly died, and by 2040, the new formula will revolve around adaptability, digital participation, and intelligent financial planning, not just working hard or saving consistently. Because we are entering an era where economic success will belong to those who can use technology as a multiplier rather than viewing it as a threat. The first major shift already underway is the rapid transition from traditional assets to digital and intangible wealth, a transformation that will completely redefine how Americans build and measure financial success. For decades, wealth was tied to physical assets like homes, land, factories, and retirement accounts, but by 2040, a significant portion of personal wealth will come from assets that exist purely in digital form, tokenized real estate, AI-managed investment portfolios, digital intellectual property, fractional business ownership, automated online income streams, and even personal data monetization, meaning that wealth will no longer be limited to what people physically own, but also what they can create, automate, and distribute online. Imagine owning shares of rental homes across multiple states through digital tokens that automatically pay monthly dividends, or building digital products like courses, templates, or AI-trained tools that generate passive income around the clock without requiring manual work. This new landscape will allow millions of Americans to become investors and creators who multiply their wealth without needing massive upfront capital. And this shift alone will dramatically reduce the advantages historically held by the wealthy. But at the same time, a second major trend is emerging: the widening wealth gap, which isn't simply creating more rich and more poor, but is splitting America into two economic realities: one group that leverages technology, new skills, and modern financial systems, and another that remains tied to outdated ways of earning, saving, and planning. And by 2040, this divide will become more pronounced than ever. The traditional middle class, built on stable jobs and homeownership, is shrinking as wages fail to keep up with inflation, housing becomes less affordable, and corporate pensions disappear. But a new middle class is rising, a group defined not by salary alone, but by multiple income streams, side businesses, investment literacy, and the ability to use tech tools that previously required specialized knowledge or expensive advisors. This new middle class will be made up of people who monetize their skills online, manage automated investment portfolios, leverage artificial intelligence in their careers, and diversify into asset classes that would have been inaccessible a decade ago. Meanwhile, those who rely on a single job, stagnant skills, or outdated financial habits will find themselves squeezed, not because they are less capable, but because the economic environment will reward adaptability over loyalty, innovation over routine, and financial literacy over traditional work ethic. The third major shift affecting wealth by 2040 is the transformation of the job market, driven not by the disappearance of jobs, but by the evolution of job structures themselves. Artificial intelligence is not eliminating entire professions as many fear, but it is eliminating tasks, and workers who learn to collaborate with technology will earn more than workers who feel threatened by it. By 2040, millions of Americans will work in careers that do not exist today: AI operations, digital asset management, virtual consulting, automated business maintenance, data verification, and a range of hybrid roles combining creativity, strategic thinking, and technology oversight. These positions will not just pay well, they will reward individuals who continuously improve their digital fluency. What this means for wealth is profound. Income will be increasingly tied to one's ability to scale their efforts through automation, digital tools, and globally accessible platforms. And the most financially successful individuals will not be the ones who work the longest hours, but the ones who build systems that generate value far beyond their personal time. This new landscape also ties into the fourth major transformation, the housing market of 2040. which will look dramatically different from the world your parents or grandparents grew up in, because while housing will continue to be a cornerstone of wealth, the way people participate in real estate will shift from ownership to investment. As property prices outpace wages and population growth increases demand, more Americans will choose to rent, not because they do not value homeownership, but because renting provides flexibility and avoids the financial strain of large down payments and high interest rates. At the same time, more people will invest in fractional real estate portfolios that allow them to buy pieces of many homes rather than committing to one large property. This means that even if someone never owns a traditional home, they can still build wealth through real estate returns, and by 2040, the majority of young adults will gain real estate exposure digitally rather than physically, shifting the entire concept of property ownership from a personal milestone to an investment strategy. A fifth trend that will shape wealth is the rise of the 100-year life. Medical technology, biotechnology, and improved healthcare will extend life expectancy significantly, meaning Americans will not only live longer, but will also work longer, invest longer, and spend more years in retirement than previous generations ever imagined. This extended lifespan requires a fundamentally different approach to financial planning. People will need portfolios that grow for decades, income streams that last longer than traditional retirement, and health saving strategies that account for rising medical costs in later years. What used to be a 10-15-year retirement may now stretch into 30-40 years, making passive income, long-term investing, and automated savings essential rather than optional. Against this backdrop of change, the most important question becomes, how can individuals prepare for the future of wealth in America by 2040? The answer lies in a combination of practical steps and mindset shifts that anyone can begin today. Building multiple income streams is no longer a luxury reserved for entrepreneurs. It's a requirement for financial resilience. And starting small, a side hustle, freelance work, digital products, online services, creates a foundation that can grow over time. Investing in scalable assets such as index funds, digital investments, fractional real estate, or automated portfolios allows wealth to compound without relying solely on labor. Skill development is equally critical, and learning one new financially valuable skill each year, from data literacy to digital marketing to basic coding to AI collaboration, can raise lifetime earning potential dramatically. Automating finances ensures that saving, investing, and bill paying happen without emotional decisions or inconsistent habits, making wealth building more reliable and less stressful. And finally, expanding financial literacy, understanding how money works, how markets operate, and how to protect and grow assets is one of the highest return investments anyone can make, especially in an era where information is widely available, but discipline is rare. The future of wealth in America will belong to individuals who combine adaptability with strategy, technology with creativity, and consistency with innovation. Those who wait for the old system to return will be left behind, but those who embrace the new economy will find opportunities far greater than any generation before them. So as we look ahead to 2040, the real question isn't what the future will look like. The trends are already in motion. The question is whether you will position yourself to benefit from that future, whether you will commit to building the skills, habits, and financial structures that will carry you forward, and whether you are ready to take advantage of the greatest wealth, building transformation in modern American history, because the future of wealth is coming, it is coming fast, and those who prepare now will be the ones who thrive in the world ahead. The truth is simple, the future of wealth in America isn't waiting for anyone. By 2040, the people who thrive will be the ones who choose to adapt, to learn, and to take action long before the world forces them to. You now understand the trends, the shifts, and the opportunities ahead, but information alone doesn't create wealth. Decisions do. The next 15 years will reward those who build multiple income streams, invest consistently, embrace new technology, and refuse to let old systems limit their potential. So the question you must ask yourself right now is this: will you step into the future prepared, empowered, and ready to claim your share of the greatest wealth transformation of our lifetime? The window is open today. It will not stay open forever. Your move.